It's a chilly night in October 1975 in the gritty streets of Chapeltown, Leeds. Wilma McCann, a mom of four, walks home under flickering streetlights, her heels clicking on the pavement. She doesn't hear the footsteps behind her. A shadow moves closer, gripping a hammer. One swing, and her world goes dark. This isn't just a murder. It's the start of a 5-year nightmare that'll grip northern England in fear. Peter Sutcliffe, the man they'll call the Yorkshire Ripper, will kill 13 women, attack more, and slip through the police's fingers time and again. 13 lives, stolen in cold blood. A hoax tape that threw the cops off for years. A town where women were afraid to walk alone. How does one man terrorize an entire region? Why did it take so long to stop him? This is the story of the Yorkshire Ripper, a monster who turned the streets into a hunting ground. Buckle up. You ready to dive into the darkness? Let's set the scene. It's the mid-1970s in northern England. Leeds and Bradford are working-class cities full of factories, pubs, and red-light districts like Chapeltown, where women work the streets to survive. It's a time when people still trust their neighbors, but that's about to change. Peter Sutcliffe, a 29-year-old truck driver from Bradford, blends right in. Quiet, average-looking, with dark hair and a stare that doesn't quite meet your eyes. He grew up in a home where his dad bullied his mom, planting a seed of rage he'd later unleash. He claims God told him to clean the streets of prostitutes. But his victims aren't just sex workers. They're mothers, students, office workers, ordinary women living ordinary lives. Wilma McCann, Emily Jackson, Irene Richardson, Patricia Atkinson, Jane McDonald, Jean Jordan, Yvonne Pearson, Helen Ritka, Vera Millward, Josephine Whitaker, Barbara Leach, Marguerite Walls, Jacqueline Hill. 13 names etched into history. And then there's the survivors, like Tracy Brown and Mo Lee, who faced this monster and lived. But at what cost? The streets of Leeds are about to run red. It all starts on October 30th, 1975. Wilma McCann, 28, is walking home in Chapeltown after a night out. She's a mom, scraping by to feed her 4 kids. Sutcliffe spots her, follows her. A hammer cracks against her skull. She collapses. He pulls out a knife, stabbing her chest and stomach, leaving her broken on the ground, covered with her own coat. The next morning, a milkman finds her. Blood stains the pavement, and Leeds wakes up to fear. January 20th, 1976. Emily Jackson, 42, another mom, meets the same fate in a dark alley. Hammer to the head, knife to the body. Her life snuffed out. Can you imagine it? 1 minute you're walking home, the next, gone. Sutcliffe's just getting started. By 1977, the body count rises. Irene Richardson, 28, is found in Roundhay Park, Leeds. Her head bashed, her body torn by a screwdriver. Patricia Atkinson, 32, dies in her own flat in Bradford, blood soaking the carpet. Then, June 26, 1977, a turning point. Jane McDonald, just 16, a shop assistant with her whole life ahead, is killed walking home from a dance. She's no prostitute, and the public panics. This guy's not just targeting sex workers, he's hunting anyone. The press dubs him the Yorkshire Ripper, a nod to Jack the Ripper, and the name sticks. Jean Jordan, 20, is next, killed in Manchester. Sutcliffe goes back days later, trying to burn her body to hide evidence, but fails. Yvonne Pearson, 21, Helen Ritka, 18, and Vera Millward, 40, follow in 1978, all in Leeds or Manchester. Hammer, knife, screwdriver, his tools of terror. Blood pools in alleys, on grass, in parking lots. The bodies are left like trophies, often covered with their own clothes. How does someone do this? Walk away from a scene like that, then go home to dinner? The police are drowning. West Yorkshire police launched the biggest manhunt in British history. 130,000 interviews, 150,000 cars checked. But they're stuck in the Stone Age, using paper index cards to track leads. Sutcliffe's questioned 9 times. His car spotted 60 times in red light districts, but he's got alibis, a calm demeanor. They let him go. Every time. Worse, they're blinded by bias. They call the victims prostitutes or loose women, dismissing survivors like Tracy Brown, 14, attacked in 1975. She describes Sutcliffe perfectly. Dark hair, beard, cold eyes, but the cops don't believe her. She's just a kid, they say. Mo Leah, attacked in 1980, gets the same treatment. The police chief, Jim Hobson, even says he hates prostitutes. So do we. Can you believe that? Ignoring survivors because they don't fit the narrative? It's a gut punch to justice. Then comes the hoax that breaks the case wide open, or rather breaks it apart. In 1978, a man calling himself Jack sends letters and a tape to the police. "I'm Jack," he says, in a thick Wearside accent from Sunderland. "You'll never catch me." The voice taunts, brags about the killings, and promises more. The cops eat it up, convinced it's the Ripper. They plaster the tape across the news, play it in pubs, spend 18 months chasing a ghost in Sunderland. Thousands of men are questioned. 50,000 calls flood in. Nothing. Years later, they learn it's a hoaxer, John Humble, a drunk who thought it'd be fun. He's caught in 2005, charged with perverting justice. But back then, his stunt cost lives. While the police chased a fake accent, Sutcliffe kept killing. From 1979 to 1980, the terror escalates. Josephine Whitaker, 19, a bank clerk, is killed walking home in Halifax. Barbara Leach, 20, a student, dies in Bradford, her body hidden in an alley. Marguerite Walls, 47, a civil servant, is found in a garden. Jacqueline Hill, 20, a student, is the last, killed in Leeds on November 17, 1980. Each time it's the same. Hammer to the skull, knife or screwdriver to the chest, blood everywhere. Sutcliffe's calm, methodical, like he's clocking in for work. The women of Leeds stop going out at night. Mothers warn daughters, "Don't walk alone." Husbands eye neighbors with suspicion. Can you feel it? A whole city, paralyzed by fear, wondering who's next. January 2nd, 1981, Sheffield. Sutcliffe's luck runs out. 2 cops spot him in a car with a prostitute, Olivia Rivers, and notice his plates are fake. They pull him over, find a hammer, knife, and rope stashed nearby. He's cocky, tries to play it cool, even hides a second knife in the police station bathroom. But when they press him, he cracks. "I'm the Yorkshire Ripper," he says, almost proud. The cops are stunned. This guy, the quiet truck driver, he confesses to 13 murders, 7 attacks, no remorse. The trial in May 1981 is quick, guilty on all counts, 20 life sentences. In 2010, a court makes it permanent. He'll never walk free. Sutcliffe dies in 2020, COVID-19, alone in a hospital bed. Justice? Maybe. But for 13 families, it's too late. This case changed everything. Leeds became a city of locked doors, a place where women carried fear, like a second skin. The police faced a reckoning, called out for misogyny, for dismissing victims as prostitutes. A 2006 report, the Byford Review, tore into their failures, from paper records to ignoring survivors like Tracy Brown and Mo Leah. It sparked major changes in how British police investigate. Even now, in 2025, the case lives on. True crime fans on X like posts from @Grim Curriculum. Debate if Sutcliffe killed more, maybe Mary Judge in 1968 or Carol Wilkinson in 1977. The cops apologized in 2020 for their language and attitudes, but some say it's not enough. Mo Leah, a survivor, wrote to Sutcliffe in prison, confronting her trauma head-on. That takes guts, right? What do you think? Could there be more victims out there unclaimed? Did the police fail these women? The Yorkshire Ripper's shadow still looms. 13 women: Wilma, Emily, Irene, Patricia, Jane, Jean, Yvonne, Helen, Vera, Josephine, Barbara, Marguerite, Jacqueline, lost their lives to a monster who hid in plain sight. Their names deserve to be remembered. If you got theories about unsolved cases tied to Sutcliffe, drop them in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's keep their stories alive. Because no one should fade into the darkness. Stay safe out there, and watch your back.